Well, let's get into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They know mortgages. It remains an absolute circus out there in the home buying world. Lots of competition for houses. If you don't have a pre-approval letter, good luck winning the house battle. So, if you're thinking about doing it, if you want to put your toe in the water and think maybe there's a house out there for us, first step, go to Eagle Mortgage, sit down with one of their mortgage brokers, doesn't matter whether you're FHA, VA, or conventional, and talk about getting this pre-approval letter. It's like going into battle with a sword and a shield because people will see that and realize, hey, you're a qualified, legitimate buyer. I can spend some time with you. You can find them in person, 114th and Davenport, or online, eaglemortgagecompany.com.
Well, I think the biggest news of the week from a national perspective, and it relates to Eagle Mortgage and the home buying process, is over the last 4 decades, the biggest drop in lumber prices just occurred over the last couple months.
Thank God.
And I don't know if you notice it at the big hardware stores yet, because they're probably trying to sell the inventory that they paid too much for. But the mills have opened back up. They're back in processing, and the lumber industry, as well as steel and all these other industries, if we can just get them to come back to near sustainable prices, it'll really help stop the inflation.
Yeah, the construction costs at both the commercial and residential level are just obnoxious.
It's down
right
like 40% or something over the last couple of months, which that's a huge drop, and it just shows you that they had the plants, they had everything. They just needed to fire them back up.
Well, when you shut everything down, there are going to be repercussions for it. And
you got to get a lot of WD-40 to get those things working again.
Amen, bro.
And duct tape.
Construction has started on what we believe is called Project Barron. And Project Barron has never been officially announced, but from what we hear, it's a 270,000 square foot Amazon warehouse in Council Bluffs. This would be 24th Street and Highway 275.
Also known as Veterans Memorial Highway.
Previously known as South Omaha Bridge Road. And this was the site where there was going to be the 100-foot tall cold storage facility that was announced several years ago. Crews installed a massive foundation. Then for whatever reason, the project didn't happen.
They had to get that out of there, too.
They're doing that right now. I drove by yesterday, and that foundation, it's my understanding, was pretty deep. A hell of a lot of concrete and rebar deep into the ground. So crews are doing that. And like the other Amazon projects that we have witnessed, when they get started, they're serious. Yeah. I mean, you've got graders and scrapers on one part of it. Meanwhile, you have all those machinery pieces that tear up reinforced concrete. Pretty impressive site. So we understand that that'll be a 270,000 square foot distribution center. Now, that is one of four, count them, four Amazon construction projects in the metro area. Of course, the big one is the 2.8 million square foot regional distribution center at highways 370 and 50 in Sarpy County. Then there are two small ones, last mile warehouses. The one at 132nd and Cornhusker Road looks to be about done. And then the other one, and these are both about 150,000 square foot, is at 72nd and State. Last time I was there, about a week ago, it looked like it was getting really close to going vertical. And that site prep thing went incredibly fast.
On the big one at Highway 50 and 370, looks like it's fixing almost to get done. I mean, it's got a lot of work done inside, but yeah.
But I mean, and the speed to which that project has happened. I mean, if for a little bit of perspective, if you've driven by that big 2.8 million square foot warehouse lately, you've noticed, hey, pretty big place. That was started less than a year ago.
Okay, and
they broke ground less than a year ago.
Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Those are four projects in a city, call it almost 1 million people, and what are we, like the 40th or 50th largest city?
Yeah, metro area, we're only like about the 58th or something like that.
Okay. So think about how many Amazon projects are going on around the world and the United States.
Yeah, like how many Amazon buildings are under construction in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex right now? If we've got four, I mean, Dallas has got 568 Amazon warehouses under construction right now.
And when you and your kids are taking 400 pictures of an event or an attraction or something like that, just think how much storage they need in those data centers that are getting built just for those pictures that you're never going to view again.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of data centers, I'm hearing a lot of rumors that there could potentially be a third Google data center coming to the metro area. You got the big one in Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a little one in Council Bluffs too, so it'd be kind of the fourth one. There's a little one, the original little one on Veterans Memorial Highway in Council Bluffs, then the 1,000-acre one further east along Interstate 29, then the about 250, 300-acre one in Sarpy County. Hearing rumblings, there could be another one. So we'll keep our eyes and ears.
Whole nother location.
Yeah, for Google. Yeah, another Google campus in the metro area. We'll keep our eyes and ears open for that, and when it's time to report that, if it happens, we will definitely let you know. So we're hearing also, speaking of rumblings, we've talked in the past about the planned Moxie by Marriott Hotel in the Old Market.
Last 3 or 4 or 5 years, yes.
Yeah, this was to be built on the site of the Old Market Diner, which was removed a few years ago. Really little footprint. There's going to be about a 6 to 8 story building on
9,000 feet, I remember.
Yeah, just 9,000 feet, which is basically the size of a small like what's a Walgreens, like 10,000 maybe?
No, about 14.
Okay, so this 6 to 8 story building would be built on a lot size way smaller than a Walgreens. And really cool concept. Moxie is a relatively new Marriott brand that kind of caters to more of an urbane, young professional type crowd. And it had appeared to be kind of dormant or dead, but we're hearing a lot of things from some people that's back on. And then also noticed there was some construction equipment on the site.
That's interesting. And when you brought up Walgreens, one interesting thing that most of our listeners probably aren't aware of, that there's a big push nationally, and I believe they've test marketed it, but Walgreens is looking around in Omaha too for a micro Walgreens. I don't know what they call it, but it's about 2,300 to 2,500 square foot with a drive-through. That it's just drugs. It's prescription drugs, obviously.
Pharmacy only,
and you can imagine that's going to compete with all the restaurants that want drive-throughs now. So that'll be interesting.
Someday, lazy Americans will never, ever get out of their car.
Yeah, pretty impressive. They'll put bathrooms in the car.
Buses have them. St. Wenceslas Catholic Church dedicated its new church building a couple days ago at 153rd and Pacific. This was a $30 million project, 60,000 square foot building. And this new church, which is beautiful, it's part of the Heartwood Preserve South development, really close to the new Applied Underwriters headquarters that's under construction. This church building will seat 1,400 congregants.
That makes it the largest church in Nebraska, I believe.
Yeah, for membership. By membership, yeah.
Well, it's God's money, so.
Yeah. And also another thing that was dedicated this week, the Wigton Heritage Center at the University of Nebraska Medical Center officially opened. This is an $8 million project that is designed to memorialize the university's 150-year history. Technically, it hasn't been UNMC for 150 years. It was originally just a small medical school, but yeah, it's been around for 150 years. This is a multi-level 13,000 square foot facility. It's attached to the outside of one of the buildings. So the facade of a building is inside this glass area. It looks really cool. And the McGugin Health Sciences Library on the UNMC campus has quite the collection of historical medical artifacts. Those are on display. So I'm actually going to try and find time fairly soon to go check that place out. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Starts like an ancient bottle of whiskey that people had to drink when they were going to get their leg taken off or something like that because of gangrene.
Yeah, medical technology has indeed come a long ways. Well, Berkshire Hathaway announced this week that the Oracle of Omaha has reached a philanthropic milestone. If you were paying attention back in 2006, you may remember that Warren Buffett pledged to distribute all of his Berkshire shares, which at that time equated to 99% of his wealth, all of those shares to philanthropy. And his most recent distribution was $4.1 million on June 23rd.
Billion.
And
Billion or million?
Did I say million?
Yeah.
Okay, meant to say billion. $4.1 billion distribution.
Just a small difference.
June 23rd. Back in 2006, Buffett owned just under 475,000 A shares, which would be about $100 billion in value. He's now down to 238,000 and some shares. So all of the rest will eventually be donated.
We're going to do some fund drives for Warren Buffett to help him get through.
Charles Schwab, which acquired TD Ameritrade, is actually adding jobs to Omaha.
Nice.
When that merger was announced, we're like, okay, great. Schwab is buying TD Ameritrade. There goes the headquarters. We'll probably have a lot of jobs. Actually, there are going to be about net 100 more jobs right now than when Schwab first announced the merger a couple of years ago. So the Charles Schwab TD Ameritrade employment in Omaha is inching up towards 2,400 people.
We love that. And apparently, I've heard rumors that they're thinking about taking off that lime green protective coating off that building in Old Mill as a result of the merger.
Where's the punchline?
Oh, that's what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I was like, well, okay, what's he setting us up for? Yeah.
No, okay.
It's
growing on me.
I've always liked that building from day one. I will say this.
Your notepad, if ladies and gentlemen, if you watch the YouTube version of this, you'll see Jeff Beals' notepad. Can you get that notepad on there?
At any rate,
it matches the mint green TD Ameritrade Schwab building.
I think the north side of the building is more attractive than the south. I like the north side where it was supposed to look like an old stock ticker tape.
Yeah.
I like the north side better than the south.
No, I don't think it's a stock ticker tape. There's things that they inserted into the computers to read the
punch cards.
The punch cards, yeah.
The Kiewit Luminarium, the $101 million science museum under construction right along the Missouri River downtown, is going vertical. If you go by the Lewis and Clark Landing site, which is one of the 3 riverfront parks that are undergoing the $300 million renovation, a lot of steel going up for this Kiewit Luminarium. This is going to be a big building, very, very tall ceiling for its size, 82,000 square feet. Going to be a world-class STEM museum, but this place is coming along. In fact, the opening date isn't until 2023. But I'm sitting here wondering, with the progress they're making, if they're going to be early.
That'd be awesome. What I love most about the Luminarium is that it's going to be interactive, number one, but also it's going to change, and so it'll be ever evolving. So there's reasons to go back.
Yeah, and then since this is kind of part of that park renovation project, Jean Leahy Mall's looking really good.
Wow, the trees that are going in there, the mature trees almost.
And then Brad Williams rented a helicopter this week and was doing a bunch of his aerial photography. And he took a great shot of Heartland of America Park. And you could see where they're really starting to build in what will be the north shoreline of the shrunken lake. The lake will be a lot smaller than it used to be, but the fountain will still be the same size. And those projects are coming along very, very
You can
nicely.
see that on our Facebook page, right?
Yes, absolutely. Groma Facebook page. And that is your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.